Bomb Cleaver, the tail. At about the same time and in the same places, another dog known as Bomb Cleaver became famous for its speed. Some claimed that she was not a dog, but a fox. But no, she was a dog, the dog that preys on foxes. They are now called fox terriers. This fox terrier belonged to a miller named Larkin Snow, who lived in about the same places as Uncle Davy Lane, although, as you know, they never met each other. Larkin was a big fan of fox hunting. The barking of dogs chasing a fox was sweet music to his ears. Of all the dogs, Bomb Cleaver was the fastest and most stubborn. Larkin was very proud of him, and when once the hunters boasted of their dogs, he spoke about his special merits. "Bring your dogs, and I will put my bomb jib against any of them," said Larkin. He whistled to his terrier and showed it to the hunters. But they burst out laughing, because, frankly, the Bomb Cleaver was completely unpretentious. Strong, but short and slightly cross-eyed, although, however, this flaw could be considered a virtue, because the dog could, therefore, look in different directions at the same time. Owners of spoiled, well-fed, not cross-eyed dogs, without hesitation, made a bet with Larkin. The next morning they brought their well-groomed dogs and, at dawn, went camping with Larkin and his bomb jib. The sun had just risen when a pack of 50 dogs on the western slope of Squaw Mountain Camp took the trail of the red fox. The fox ran away, and all the dogs, including Bomb Jib, rushed after her with a loud bark that deafened like a dozen organs. The fox rushed to the top of Saddle, then rounded Scottknob, rushed to the Cider Ridge mountain range, crossed the Fisher River and rounded Sugar Lock, then rushed back to Rock Camp Mountain, where Larkin and the other hunters were just waiting for the moment to take her. On the heels of the fox, the bomb jib flew half a mile away from the rest of the dogs, which were completely exhausted. There was a meadow on the way by the fox, and in the middle of it lay a scythe. Some farmer forgot it there, going to chop wood. The scythe lay with its blade up, and the bomb jib did not notice it. Either slanting eyes let him down, which looked not where it was needed, or he was too carried away by the pursuit. In a word, he didn't notice the braid and ran right on her, so much so that she cut it lengthwise from the tip of her nose to the tip of her tail in half. Larkin rushed with all his legs to the place where Bomb Cleaver fell. The dog did not even whine. Larkin quickly grabbed both of his halves and put them together. I mixed it up only from excitement, and on the left the paws turned up, and on the right, down. However, Bomb Cleaver immediately jumped to his feet as if nothing had happened, and rushed after the fox. Rather, on two legs, yes, but now on which first, on the right or on the left, it is now difficult to say for sure. He drove the fox to the top of Saddle, then around Scottknob to Cider Ridge and back to Rock Camp. When he flew past Larkin, the other dogs were already a mile behind him. He grabbed a fox on the eastern slope of Cliff Camp, and he and Larkin sat down to rest and wait for the hunters with dogs. They had to wait a long time, because the rest of the dogs fled with their tongues sticking out, their tongue to the ground. That's how it was, and they stumbled over them all the time, and still went to rest. The hunters, too, were completely out of breath and were barely breathing when they saw Larkin and Bomb Jib sitting next to them, and on the ground the dead fox. But then they looked more closely at Bomb Jib. Their eyes climbed onto their forehead, and they burst into a loud laugh. "Well, what is this breed of dog called?" asked one of them Larkin. "If I had such a dog, I would give it to the circus, not otherwise." "This is a fox hunter," Larkin said proudly. "Champion of the fox terriers. Special view." The hunters had no choice but to admit that the champion of Larkin was indeed the fastest dog in the world, but why they could not understand in any way. "Ah, yes, it is very simple," Larkin undertook to explain to them. "When he gets tired of running on his right legs, he turns over vividly and runs on his left." What would you argue with that? The hunters had to pay for lost bet. They tried to buy Larkin his bomb jib for their pack, but Larkin said, "You cannot buy this special kind of fox terrier even for 1,000,000 gold bars. Because this is the only instance in this entire region, or even in the entire state. There isn't everything in America." The Bomb Cleaver safely lived to a very advanced age. After this hunt, he often happened to run first on one paws, then on others, but it's hard to say now which one's first, on the right or on the left.